Hey, Squiggles here, joined by Cricket for Game 2 in this QuickWeb's tournament. Again, this is going to be between VTavilo and GoSuHwangSin. And of course, this is a crazy, crazy map. At least I think it is. Cricket, what can you tell us about this map?
Don't die, Squiggles. Don't die. I need
okay.
to tell you about this map before you go. It is IC Cup's Testbug, a very popular map. Of course, never existed on ladder and probably never will.
Yeah.
It allows you to expand pretty much anywhere you want, depending on where your opponent spawns. If they spawn to the right of you, you expand to the top left. If they spawn to the left of you, you go right. So it kind of has this really good flow to it, and really allows you to be macro heavy if you want, but also be aggressive because there's a huge big center, but there's a lot of narrow pathways along the side of it. So it gives a lot of opportunities for a lot of magic to happen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And there's a ton of Xel'Naga watchtowers, too, that really cover like the whole center of the map. But it's kind of cool in this one that they have the destructible rocks guarding the Xel'Naga watchtower. I don't know, guarding, protecting. They're like, I don't want to be used for line of sight. Guard me, rocks. But I mean, the one in the middle you can use, but then if you want to have any kind of line of sight advantage at the edges of the middle, you have to break down those rocks. And so, because of their spawn positions, the one where the probe is just now passing is going to be pretty key, as is the one right in front of Avilo's base.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about these Xel'Nagas is that they can be used offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
If you can hold it right in front of your opponent's base, that is a very scary situation to be in
Yeah.
for the person that's like, dude, he has my Xel'Naga, he has an army, he is outside my base. GG, I'm out. I'm waiting for the next map. But but also it gives you a good protection if you have that outside of your natural. Gives you a great view of what's to come. There's not going to be any run bys that you can't see. Really, the only thing you have to worry about is drop play. So very cool map. A lot of people just love to play on it just because it's that fun.
Yeah, it's different. It's also one of the only three-person maps, the 1v1v1 style. So, I mean, any way you scout, you're going to be like, oh, he's not there. Well, I know where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything's pretty standard so far. It looks like both guys going for quick 2 gases. It looks like another reactor going down by Avilo, and we could be seeing a similar build, if not the exact same build.
Yeah. So far, Avilo's opened up the exact same. He has the supply depots at the front, so he can lay down a bunker there if he has any early stalker pressure coming from Hwangsin. We see that factory also going to be started for Avilo. And if we check back at Hwangsin's base, that warp gate is just now starting, even chrono boosting that first stalker. It's really not necessary to get that first zealot out unless if you're expecting some crazy 2 racks pressure.
Right. Or if you want to pressure a little bit, you can do that.
Yeah. Very true. And then that really allows you, because if you get that stalker right up front of their base, and then you can hold them there until the sentry gets there, you can essentially hold the ramp into the mid game. It's pretty crazy.
It's pretty annoying.
I bet.
Sorry, that was my Terran bias coming in. It is awful.
I'm neither of these races, so I could care less. Oh, must suck to be Terran then.
So, looks like we are going to have 3 gates coming out. Looks like a 3-gate expand, possibly. There also could be a robo added. I'm not sure. We're going to have to see. But I would guess that there's going to, never mind, it's going to be a 4-gate. Wow. I wasn't expecting that. So, yep, that first stalker we can see walking his way across the map. Oh, I just noticed there's an SCV in Hwangsin's base, chilling behind that little shrubbery. Now he's going to run in, and is he going to be able to see the 4 gates? That's going to be pretty huge, and it looks like, yes, he will. And he's going to be like, oh, you sly devil, you. You're going 4 gates. So how is he going to respond? Looks like he already has 1 bunker. That will serve him well. Probably should throw down another one. And, there's him saying, sup?
Yeah, he's like, dude, I see your 4-gate, man. I got you.
I see your 4 gates. And let's shut up.
There you go.
Oh, well, I like that these guys are having a good time. Regardless, it looks like Avilo is going to throw down that second bunker and getting his starport as well. So Avilo is still going to be going for the same build. The only difference he's going to do is he's going to throw up an extra bunker just so he can hold, and he is going to be able to, if he does pull these SCVs, he'll be able to defend perfectly well. But look at this. It looks like HwangSin is going to just go ahead and transition into, we'll just call this a defensive 4-warp gate, actually canceling one of them and putting down a robo. So he's going to go 3-gate robo now and go ahead for an expand. So I really, really like that, actually. Avilo got the scout in, and he saw exactly what was going on, and so HwangSin was like, oh, well, it's obviously not going to work because that build obviously relies on the forward pylon and the element of surprise. So since he doesn't have that, he's just going to transition out. And if his opponent thinks he's going for it still, all the better.
Yeah, and this, I mean, Avilo is stuck in his base, and it's the 7.5-minute mark. HwangSin takes the advantage of getting the robotics facility, so he's continuing that tech, getting the expansion down. If Avilo doesn't move out soon, he's going to be so far behind that HwangSin's just going to roll him.
I really like that, his ability to just transition into something else. You don't see that except in like tippity-top play. A lot of people say, okay, this is what I'm doing in the game. I already have my game plan, and they stick to it even if it's not a good idea. But we see very fluid evolution coming out of HwangSin. Really, really nice play.
Right, and one of the cool parts.
Here comes the Hellion. He's like, oh, I see what you did there. Nice.
Yeah, yeah, very, very sneaky. And one of the cool parts is a lot of players might be like, well, dude, why isn't he breaking the rocks down in the front? Get that extra vision. And one of the things is he doesn't want to break the rocks because essentially the Terran player could be offensive as of right now. And so he's like, I don't want the Terran player to be able to push and me not be able to essentially stop the push a little bit. So he's going to hold off. And once he gets that kind of steady army moving, we see the Twilight Council just finishing. So we'll probably see Charge or maybe even Blink or maybe even DTs. We'll have to see. But I don't know. The first observer coming out.
There's a probe just chilling there.
Yeah, dude.
What's he going to build? Hey, probe. Hey, what's going on, dude? What you going to do? What you going to do? What you going to do?
Man,
it's a Templar Archive. Ooh, High Templar. Okay. Well, I like that choice as well. High Templars are known to be decently good against masses of Marines.
Yeah, absolutely with that Sonic Storm. But, of course, he saw a Raven last time, so he might be looking at feedback in that bad boy. And but even, we see a Banshee with Cloak coming out. So if he's able to detect the Banshee, get a feedback, and if it has enough energy, kaboom, it goes.
Yeah, it's true. And there actually is a Banshee doing some damage in the main, has 3 kills already, and is going to be running. And actually, there is not an Observer anywhere close. The Observer's in the Terran base. So he's chrono boosting on an Observer right now, but there's going to be a time here. Never mind, there's an Observer back. And so this Banshee's going to have to fly, run away, trying to do a little stutter step, gets 5 kills. Pretty good. So that was about what you need in order for that Banshee to be cost effective. But there's also the psychological thing that now HwangSin knows that there's Banshees with the Cloak, and he has to just account for that. You can see he's splitting up his army. He has Zealots and 1 Sentry in the middle, or at the front, and most of his ranged units at the back with that Observer just in case. And it looks like this Banshee isn't quite done being mischievous yet. Going to be poking back in here. Needs to be careful, though. Could be. There we go. Oh, nice control. Nice control. Gonna go
HwangSin's he's going to go for this charge lock composition. He built a lot of sentries early on to get a ton of force fields, and so he's going to shield the back of the Terran army and charge with blades of steel, or I guess, I don't know, Star Wars like blades, lightsabers.
Call them, that's so much better. Why didn't I ever think of lightsabers? I always call them glowing spatulas. Which doesn't make any sense.
See, I steal copyrighted material. Lightsabers.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm doing that from now on. I'm going to look specifically for copyrighted material and be like, I'm using that.
How you be successful.
Yep. It looks like, wow, a couple more starports going down for Avilo. So he's going to go 3 starports. Only has 1 Rax and the 1 factory. So now I'm really curious to see what he's going to do. Oh.
Well, he's committed to this Banshee tech, so he might be like...
He has a Raven out, gets a point defense drone, and has lots of Banshees that could absolutely wreak havoc with what HwangSin does. So we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see. But with feedbacks, those feedbacks are actually really good on Banshees, too.
Absolutely. Well, and kind of what I'm thinking maybe is Avilo scouts out the Observer, Viking kills the Observer, Banshee's Cloak, good night, Protoss army.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to come down to that first opening few seconds and just making sure that he can snipe his observing skills.
Yep.
And I'm going to check units really quick. It looks like there are 3 observers on the map, so that's going to help HwangSin quite a bit if they're in the correct positions.
Yeah, and HwangSin really, I mean, he had that expansion a good 3 to 4 minutes
Yeah.
before Avilo did.
Yeah.
So that's a huge advantage. We can already kind of see that in the supply tab. A little over 20 supply overhead as of right now. And Huangson, that's just going to get larger and larger. Now Avilo is going to be able to catch up. And that's why he's made those extra production facilities. We see more Banshees coming out.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's going to come down to that positioning. I can't imagine it being a complete sweep as of yet, but we do see Avila wants that Zelnog out front of his base.
Yes, indeed he does. And it looks like that observer going to be pulling back just a little bit. And he has to be so careful of those observers because that Raven is there.
Yeah.
They actually detect, too, as opposed to just put the point defense drone down. So look at that multi-use building, or multi-use unit. So good. The observer is like darting in and out like it's a Banshee. It's like, okay. There's no Raven here. I'm good for now. And ooh, look at this. Looks like Huangson going to go ahead and take a third right now, try to sneak a third, and taking it in kind of a weird spot. And that's actually hilarious because Avilo has like every other spot covered.
Yeah.
So if that base goes up, that could definitely be a problem for Avilo. And it looks like Huangson was thinking about moving out. Maybe no, he's just going to take that Zelnaga watchtower. And quite a good decision. Yep, we see High Templar. We see Archons even. Zealots with charge, like you said, do have +1 ups and a lot of force fields. And, money scan going down to see that army as it moves out. So the Terran players should be able to get in good position. And here we go.
And the battle is raging. Charge lots are going. The huge storm in the middle of the battle. No need for force fields, just laying down the Guardian Shield. More storms cleaning up Avilo's army. He's trying to go back into the bunkers, but those won't hold. And
wow.
he is bringing the sup back as he completely demolished Avilo's army, telling him what is going on. And yeah, these Immortals are rocking it.
No kidding, man. That was really, really good. I mean, he has Archons too, so any kind of Banshees aren't even going to be that much of a problem. Here come out the SCVs. Somebody needs to tell the SCVs that Archons do splash. And there's Avilo leaving the game. Okay, so in lieu of a GG, it's going to be tied up 1-1, and we're going to go on to game number 3. I really like that attack by Huangsin, though, because even if it doesn't work, he can pull back, and he has his expansion up. So, I mean, it's win-win for him either way, but he saw he was winning, so he just pushed in and got the GG.
Yeah, he got the tech he needed. He delayed Avilo's expansion so much. Unfortunately, Avilo wasn't able to do much with that Cloaked Banshee. And Huangsin's advantage just, I mean, it was obvious right there.
Yeah.
His army just demolished it and had more coming.
All right, going to be moving on to game 3.